Hello. Today let's study the past continuous. In this section we will learn when we use the past continuous, the past continuous versus the past simple, and how we make sentences in the past continuous. So let's start. First of all, when do we use it? Let's take a look at the following sentences. I called you last night at 10 o'clock, but you didn't answer. What were you doing? I was sleeping at 10 o'clock when you called me. Sorry, I was very tired. Now, look at the conversation. Are they talking about the past or the present? Obviously, they are talking about the past. Look at what the boy says. I was sleeping at 10 o'clock. Do you think the action started before 10 o'clock and continued after 10 o'clock? So, was the action completed at 10 o'clock or in progress? Yes, so it was in progress. Now, look at the sentence again. I was sleeping when you called. There are two actions here. The number one is that I was sleeping, and the number two is you called. We know I was sleeping was an action in progress. Did the second action, that means you called, happen before, after, or during? Obviously, it occurred during. Now, when do we use the past continuous? Let's see. The number one is for actions in progress at a specific time in the past. Let's see this example. I was sleeping at 10 o'clock. The specific time is 10 o'clock. And the action was in progress, so I have to use the past continuous. That means to be verb and the ing form at the end of the verb. This is a specific time in the past, as I have already told you. Other examples are time expressions like this morning or last night. The boy started sleeping before 10 o'clock and continued sleeping after 10 o'clock. It was in progress. It wasn't completed at this specific time. The number two is that we can use the past continuous for actions in progress when another action happened in the past. Let's see this example. I was sleeping when you called. Notice how this section is in the past simple. We use the linking word when to connect the two parts of the sentence. When do we use it? Let's see this. Someone is reading a book. It was a cold, dark night and it was raining outside. The trees were moving in the wind and the animals were hiding from the cold. Look at the section from the story above. Do you think this is one of the main events in the story, or is it setting the scene? It is setting the scene. Okay, do we use the past simple here to set the scene or the past continuous? What do you think? Obviously, we have to use the past continuous. Do you think we usually use the past continuous or the past simple for the main events? Yes, we use the past simple. Let's continue. The rule number three to use the past continuous says to set the scene in a story in the past. For example, it was raining outside, the trees were moving in the wind, and the animals were hiding from the cold. We usually use the past simple with the main events. Now, how do we make sentences in the past continuous? Let's see. How do we form the sentences? For positive, for negative, and for question. For positive, we have to place the subject, then to be in the past form, and then the verb plus ing at the end. With the negative form, we have to place the subject, then we add not to be in the past, that means was not or wasn't, or were not or weren't, and the verb with ing. Let's see in the question way. We write the question were, then we write to be in the past, the subject, and the verb with ing. For example, what were you doing? And another example is, was he playing golf? Okay, and short answers. We can say yes, he was, or no, he wasn't. So we use the subject and the verb to be in the past. So, how do we make the verb to be in the past? That means I was, you were, he, she, it was. We were, you were, and they were. So, how do we make sentences? This is the way. So, remember, this is how we make the verb to be in the past. For the subject I, we use was. For the subject you, we use were. For he, she, and it, we use was. For we use were. And for you, in plural, we have to use were. And finally, with they, we have to use were. Be careful with the spelling. The ing forms can change a little. For example, swimming, we have to add or double the M, that means the last letter. Let's practice. So, correct the errors. The first sentence is, my brother singing in a competition last night. Number 2, what you were doing when I saw you yesterday. Number 3, I cooked when you were arriving. Number 4, my best friend and her father was traveling when they met a really famous actor. Number 5 is, it was 4 p.m. My friends was walking home from school. And the number 6, Diana didn't doing her homework when I called her. So, what are your answers? Let's see. The correct way to do these activities is, the first one is, my brother was singing in a competition last night. Number 2 is, what were you doing when I saw you yesterday? Number 3, I was cooking when you arrived. Number 4, my best friend and her father were traveling when they met a really famous actor. Number 5, it was 4 p.m. My friends was walking, but what is a mistake? Obviously what? So the correct form is, my friends were walking home from school. And the final sentence is, Diana wasn't doing her homework when I called her. And that's all, guys. See you then. Bye bye.